Hello everyone. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Excuse me for being a little late today. But I'm here now and we're not going to be long. We're just going to take about 30-40 minutes and go through our list for September for all those who are still trying to garden or want to get out there and plant some more vegetables or maybe forgot to do something. We're going to let a few more people come in, get past the ads. Garden, hello, how are you? I hope all is well, and I definitely appreciate you being here. Susan Harris, hello. How is it going? Thank you for being here, Susan. It's good to see you as well. Hope everything is working well in the garden for you, Susan. Garden of Eden, what zone are you in? I've been meaning to ask you that. What growing zone are you in? Stephanie, hello. How are you? Thank you for being here. We're going to go through this list of vegetables that we still can plant. Lisa Williams, hello. How are you? Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Zone 5, Denver. Okay. Okay, great. Peachtree looking much better. Good. I'm glad. Miss Farola, hello. Thank you for being here. I'm running a little late today. We're getting those cool nights. I had my window up and that breeze was coming through, and sometimes you just want to just lay there and just not so much sleeping, but just being at peace and relax. So that's what was going on, and then I realized it was Monday, so I jumped up. But thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. Sorry. All right. So we're going to get right into it. We're not going to delay it. A lot of us are starting to can. And with that canning, we're realizing that, well, we didn't grow quite enough, or we want a little extra this or a little extra that. Well, for some things, we still got a little time. Now, for me, excuse me, I'm not doing a fall garden this year because I still have my regular garden going, and I just don't have the room and actually I'm a little like burnt out just a little bit in the garden from growing so much over the season and dealing with the apiary and dealing with the orchard. So this downtime that we have over the winter and the late fall, it's a good thing, because if we constantly grow, you will get burnt out. So the downtime is really good for us to kind of sit back, not worry about watering, not worry about fertilizing or any of that other stuff. Just relax and do something different. And then when spring comes, we get hyped up again. We excited. We done shaking off the winter blues, and we're ready to get in the garden and feel that sunshine on our face. But right now I'm a little over that. And I'm ready to do something a little different, because I do have some different things coming up. And also I'm going to do an indoor garden over the winter. So that's one of the reasons why I really wasn't too pressed about doing the fall garden, because my garden is still going. I'm super excited about the sweet potatoes. Original Turtle, thank you for being here. Hello. How are you? We gotta make sure we stay connected, OT, because I'll be harvesting a lot of my cutting back a lot, trimming a lot of my fig cuttings. So I want to make sure that I get some out there to you. So definitely want to get ready for this season to shut the garden down. We're going to go through that. But today what we're going to talk about basically is what we can grow in September. Now for Garden of Eden and myself, she's 5, I'm 6. We're getting more and more limited on what we can grow. But for zones 9 and 10, this is like y'all prime time. This is like when y'all really get out there and can shine, because that heat is not in the 3 digits all the time, and you can be able to grow all the brassicas that you wanted, that you couldn't grow in the midsummer because it was too hot. So it's a good thing too. All right, great. That sounds good. I would like to have an OT in my garden on my fig collection. So thank you. So here is what we're gonna go through. We're gonna go through September, and we're going through the zone. So I'm gonna mix 5 and 6 together. Now, if anybody beg to differ on it, just let me know in the chat, and we can kind of go and see where we're going with that, or if I agree or disagree, or if we can come to agreements or disagree. Claire Joy Live, thank you for being here. Hello. Melanie the moderator, thank you for being here. Lisa Williams, if I have not spoke, hello, and thank you for being here. Hot Sauce Junkie Tim, hello. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Hot Sauce Junkie, I know you grew, you started your garden this year with your peppers. How did they turn out? I hope they turned out pretty good for you. All right, so we got September garden. And I know people are like, I know you're not trying to still garden in September. Well, the button in September and push the limits. And for, like I said, other states like 9 and 10, this is their prime time. This is where they can show out and absolutely do the most in their garden. Because if you notice, even with YouTube, those zone 9s and 10 gardens are, they're not really showing you brassicas because they're not growing them. They like go up in smoke because it's so hot, so they bolt very, very fast. But it's other things that they are growing that are doing great. So 5 through 6, we get, let's go 5 through 7 because it's going to get a little repetitive in what we're talking about. We still can do our beans. Remember, beans, string beans is 45 days to harvest. So we still can do our beans. Beets is about 45 days as well. We still can do our beets. We still can do carrots. We still can do kale, lettuce, spinach. Onions should be going in the fall, and garlic should be going in the fall for next season. So this is a good time to start planting those out. So that's what we got 5 through 6. We got beans, beets, carrot, kale, lettuce, spinach. Put your onions out. Put your garlic out. This is a good time for it for 5 through 6. Then we have 8. Now 8 is almost that borderline of, it depends on what the weather is, and then it can fall back over into a 6 thing. But you still can do some things. One thing that you can test in 8 is tomatoes. Yep. Try to, if you already got your starts, if they still selling them at the stores, if you don't grow from seed, snatch up your tomato. You still should have some pretty good weather to do tomatoes. Squash is another thing that you can do. Peppers is another thing that you can do. Now, all 3 of these things that I just mentioned love heat. So the reason why I say it kind of sways back and forth is because your weather can dip down at nighttime in 8. Or it could just be you could have that heat wave coming through that's coming off of 9 somewhere. Or you can get that coolness that's coming off of 7, zone 7. So it kind of depends. It's taking a chance. Cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, beets, and of course your lettuce, your spinach, and all of that as well. So those are things that you guys can still get out there and do. Again, I said now this is the canning season because everybody is harvesting their harvest and they're canning it and putting it away for winter. So if you feel like you've canned and you just don't have enough and you want to push the envelopes because you got some extra cans left, go out there and you and 8, grow some more. Get ready for that second round of your growing season. So that would be 4-8. Number 9, zone 9. Now zone 9, you got to listen carefully because there's a list. Like I said, for zone 9 and zone 10, this is prime time for you guys. This is where your garden is going to thrive for you in these different vegetable areas because the weather is going to be just right. Some of you guys in zone 9 and 10 been getting triple digits and been getting it consecutively. Just back to back to back to back to back. Heat wave warnings. I've been watching the news. I've been talking to friends. I've been watching a couple of people on YouTube talking about the different brush fires that's happening and the ash. Now is prime time for you to start growing these things. You're getting a little bit cooler nights, which cool things off, and your mornings is cooler, and then by the time that main midday come, you got that heat. And it'll just be just the right balance for your vegetable plants. So, 9, you can do your beans. You could do your beets. You could do your broccoli. You could do your Brussels sprouts, your cabbage, your carrot, your celery. Zone 10, celery. 2, corn, cucumbers, eggplant. Zone 10, eggplants as well. Kale, onions, parsley, peas, peppers, spinach, and tomatoes. Tomatoes, peppers. And you know those two are very heat-loving plants. One of the things I didn't put on here is okra. You can do that okra as well. You know the okra loves the heat. So like I said, with the higher zones, 9 and 10, it's prime time planting for you guys. You can just run with it. And if you probably don't even, if you get a frost, it probably won't be until December, November sometime. But that's what I have for you guys. Definitely, if you're canning, make sure you grow the things that you need and some of the extra stuff that you need to go in your canning, like your dill, stuff like that. Don't forget that if you doing your pickles or your garlic, to put those over in there. If all that can come out of your garden, that's awesome. If it can't, and you have to go out and purchase it, that's fine too, as long as you have it. How many people are still experimental gardener? Hello, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I think I missed somebody else in here. Missy, hello, how are you? I'm glad that you made it. The coldest my area, OT says the coldest my area is, it gets 35 to 37. Really? That's not bad. Because we get about minus 10 here. That's the coldest we get. So you just getting a little bit of a frost. And that's pretty good right there, 35 to 37 degrees. So you could stretch that garden. And if you got a greenhouse, you really could do wonders. Garden of Eden said -10 in Denver. Yeah, Garden of Eden, we running about the same way, and God forbid if we have a polar vortex again, like we did the year before last. It got so bone chilling cold. I don't know how anything survived out there, but it did. So if you have a greenhouse and you are in the cooler climates, zone 6, zone 7, utilize that greenhouse. Get stuff out there. Yeah, exactly. Get stuff out there that you can kind of extend the season. If your peppers haven't quite turned yet or got them ready, put them over in the greenhouse. Make a makeshift greenhouse as well. If you know your temperatures are going to drop, you can get your 4 sticks, put it around the plant, and put some plastic over it. Make it just to give it a break from that coolness. So I'm telling you, it's ways to do things. You can stick them inside the pot. Put the whole, get one of them big clear garbage bags, the clear ones, and put it in there where the plastic is not so much touching the pot. It's ways that you can be creative and extending your grow season for at least to get your plants through. Now, one of my things that didn't do well for me this year was my cucumbers. I got about 10 cucumbers, but I normally get abundance of cucumbers. I mean, I normally have so many cucumbers, I give them away. I have to, or I'll make pickles or whatnot. But this year I tried Marky Moores. It didn't work good for me. I had one straight 8, and I really think that's what produced for me. I grew them from seed, and one of the problems that I think that I had is when I was giving, because I was growing stuff from seeds for other people as well, I wasn't organized in how many I had, so I left myself with one and I didn't realize it, and that happened on a couple of other plants as well. Happy Monday, 50 Plus. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. OT said he's getting a small greenhouse, 15 foot by 7 foot. That's a nice sized greenhouse. That's 15 feet by 7 feet. That's bigger than my greenhouse. That's a nice size. But you'll be able to do wonders with a greenhouse. Miss Barola said, I really think the summer this year in the middle of the country was not hot as usual. My Malabar spinach did not do as well this year either. I was surprised my tomatoes did well. I got a lot of tomatoes, but I still got tomatoes out there that's still green. They have not turned yet, and I don't even think they're going to make it. I actually harvested a lot of them and brought them in the house, put them in a paper bag to turn them. But it's been a strange year because my okra I put down in June, and I made a mental note. This is why it's good to have a journal as well, because you can kind of make a mental note or a note in your journal of what happened last year that didn't work, so you don't do it again. So I know the 1st of June I will not put my okra down. I will probably wait until the middle of June before I put my okra down, because it died out, and I think our nights just in June was way too cool for the okra to even thrive. I have one that size, and I'm going a smaller one for my small space. Yeah, you're going to really enjoy the benefits of having that greenhouse, especially where you are, OT, because you pretty much can garden really all year round with some things if you set it up the right way. Susan Harris said, my tomatoes, I'm losing it. My tomatoes did well this year also. They were delicious. My peppers as well. Very good. I'm glad that your tomatoes and your peppers, my peppers did pretty good though. My peppers kind of Well, my bell peppers always do well, but my the peppers that I got from Aaron Hall, those Reapers and Ghosts, they did really good, really really good. And I just went out there yesterday, and they're starting to turn. So I didn't have any pepper problems. The only tomato problem that I had, Susan, was I got that disease in my vine, and on one of my plants, but the plant continued to grow, and it continued to produce tomatoes. They just really slow about turning green. That's the part that just puzzled me. Real slow about turning green. See, lost my greenhouse in tropical storm trying to repair. Kind of knocked me back. Oh, Stephanie, I'm sorry to hear that. But yeah, hopefully you can get your greenhouse repaired, because it is a staple point in the garden, and it depending on what season it is. Now my greenhouse, I don't use it that often, because we might get 1 month of fall and we in winter. If the first day of fall, I think it's September the 22nd, by October the 22nd, we so cold, I have to put heat in the greenhouse. And the reason why I built that greenhouse was for my figs to extend the season. But I had a really good fig year. This year I got breeder crops that's coming in. I don't know if they're going to make it though, because figs like that heat, and we ain't really been coming with the heat like that. And they will slow down and stop growing. Also, my watermelons, I got like 10 or 11 more watermelons out there. I don't know how those are going to do, because our nights are 50s, and sometimes the highest our nights has been is like 65 in the past 2 weeks. Our days has been like 80s. We haven't hit the 90s in a minute, but we've been in the high 80s. So I'm hoping that some of my watermelons out there continue to ripen up and go. But those sugar babies were delicious. Just so many seeds in them. Angela Garden says, hello, how are you? Thank you for being here. I appreciate you coming in. I've been checking out your garden on your channel. You're doing real good over there. Miss Ferrola said, yes, that's what I'm talking about. The nightshade, although requiring heat, but will slow down when the temps are hotter. Yeah. But if those temperatures drop, you can pretty much forget it. It's not, it just ain't going to do it. It's not going to do it. And then, as October come in, as we get into September, our time is going to start changing. We're not going to have those hours of daylight, because I think it get dark here about 8:20. And we're already losing hours, because it used to get dark at 8:40. So we're gonna start losing hours of daylight, and that's pretty typical for us and normal. So it's gonna be the same thing all around. So that's all I have, guys. Remember, if you are in these zones, you still have time. If you forgot something, or if you saw something somebody else is growing and you want to try it and it's on this list, go ahead and try it. If you're going to be canning or freezing, or however you preserve your food, dehydrating, go ahead and get these things out there. Sugar snap peas. Here is a good time, and Zone 5 is a good time for the sugar snap peas, and I love sugar snap peas. They really don't last long, because I'm bringing them in, washing them out, and I eat those as a snack. Just plain, just like that. My beets, I normally like to juice those and drink them, but I love pickled beets, but I didn't grow enough to pickle this year. The only thing that I wish I knew how to preserve would be my bell peppers. I just cook them as I need them, and I harvest them as I need them. And I do a lot of stir fries. So I love my yellow and red bell peppers. I wish I could get off into mushrooms, because that's another thing that I love, cooking the mushrooms. And I've been looking into that a little bit. Angela says she's never had success with beets, need to learn how to get them going. You know, this year was a pretty good year for my beets. Previous years before, it haven't been that great. I know that they really require a loose soil for mine to thrive, to do good. My soil was really, really, really loose. So they can't take nothing heavy. The thing that I'm most excited about this year is my sweet potatoes. But between the watermelons and the sweet potatoes, the vine has completely taken over that area. And I really think today I'm going to go out there and I'm going to start cutting those vines back. Because, I mean, it's all in the walkway of the garden area. And it's kind of, I just don't think the vines make that much of a difference. As long as the bed is covered with the vines is good. So I'm going to chop back a lot of those vines. And on the watermelon, I'm going to trim back some of those vines over there that's coming out the garden area. And hopefully it'll send more energy to the plant. Experimental Gardener says, I have a hard time with corn and watermelon. And both of those, you got to keep water. I have a hard time with corn. I grew corn one time. I was so excited about it. I was proud of it. Everything was right on time, knee high by the 4th of July, whatever the little saying was. And then one morning, the squirrels just completely took my whole corn down. But the secret with the growing the corn is you can't just grow 3 corns in a row and think they're going to grow. You need to have a square of them. Like I did a 4x4 bed, so I had 16 corn seeds that came up into plants. Once I did that, they were able to pollinate themselves when the wind blows. If not, you got to go out there and shake it. Once that pollen starts getting on there, to be able to pollinate your plant for your corn to produce. So corn is not too hard, and it's really fun to watch grow. It's really fun to watch grow, but the squirrels absolutely love it. So you got to figure out a way to keep them out. A lot of people have said that they had some problems with their watermelons this year. You got to water them. You got to feed them. They're heavy feeders. I say that in every video when I talk about watermelons. You got to water. You got to keep that plant watered. You can't let that plant dry out. And that's the part about being dedicated to your garden. And that's why it's so important to have that break, that downtime. Because you're constantly going out there every day. And if you're in a zone like OT, it's hot. You know, if you out there in California, Texas, you really got to be out there on top of that stuff. Because if you can't go a day without water in your garden. Or you'll come back and you don't have anything. Because it was almost to that point here where I really couldn't go a day without getting out there watering. But we've been getting rain lately from the storm. And that storm has really been bringing the rain to Michigan. So I haven't had to go out there and really water. But when you garden in containers, don't let that rainwater fool you. Because it's not getting in your containers. Like my eggplants, the leaves are so big when the rain comes down, it's just really going off the container. It's not getting into the soil of the container, and that's what we need. So those plants, if you are a container garden, you still need, even if it rains, you still need to go out there and water those plants. Let's see, right, the turf getting outside when it gets hot. Yes. And another thing with container gardening, if you got your container sitting on cement, Think about how hot that cement gets in the heat. If you can elevate get 2 bricks and elevate your pots up off the ground, you will be surprised what a difference that makes. Take your little sandal off and put your feet on some hot cement and see how hot it is. That's how hot your pot gets. So if you could just elevate it off the ground, that will help you a whole lot. Missy said, even when we get rain here in Texas, it is not a good hour or so and really did not reach the plant. Yep, exactly. Because mine don't. Missy said all her containers are on pallets. That's a good thing to put them on too. Because there you go. Pallets are good to put your containers on. Because if they're on the grass, that's different. But if you got a patio out there, a cement patio, and you sitting them on, get them off that patio. It's burning the bottom of the roots completely up. Stephanie said good info. Thank you. You're welcome, Stephanie. So remember those little tips. And also, you know, last year, we kind of, earlier the year, everybody was scurrying around for seeds because of the pandemic. Here's the thing. We're still going through the pandemic. We're still going through COVID-19. It's finna get, the weather is changing. It's finna get cooler. Don't wait till the last minute to stock up on your waters. I remember in March, April, the stores was only allowing us to get one case of water. As you start stocking up on your canned goods and your cans and getting all that ready, get your water ready too. I just had my son bring me in 4 cases of water because we go through a lot of water. So you have to definitely make sure that you get prepared all the way around. When the season changes like that, you have to be prepared. Indiana Backyard Gardener, hello, how are you? Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I keep a lot of seeds too. And then when people send me seeds, it's such a blessing to me because I'm so grateful when someone gives me something like that. It just holds a value. So yes, I keep some seeds too. So you definitely want to make sure you order your seeds early. Don't wait till the last minute, and then you have to go through the catalog and see all or go on the website and see all of the different sold out. So if you got a place where you order your seeds from and they starting to, you know, reload all their seeds, make sure that you get on it early. The same thing with your fruit trees. Don't wait till the last minute. As soon as fruit tree season ordering time comes, jump on it. I just opened this book to this little greenhouse OT. That's a nice greenhouse right there. But you could get this greenhouse at Harbor Freight for about $200 if you have your coupon and you catch it on sale. It's the same greenhouse. The panels is all gonna do the same thing. Yeah, that would be super nice. A greenhouse. Hot Sauce Junkie say he needs one of those. Gardner even said that's what I need too. You know what? Angela asks, are they easy to assemble? I don't know. I never had one of these. I just wound up building my own, but I was going to originally get one of these. So I'm not sure if they're easy to assemble or not. I'm sure hopefully they give you good instructions, because sometimes people don't give you good instructions on how to put things together. But I'm not sure if they are or not. I know YouTube got a video for everything. I'm sure they got a video on how to put put this thing up. Yeah, so a good place to get some greenhouses, you know, are a place to sell greenhouses if you don't want to order them. It's Harbor Freight. They do have them, and they have discount coupons now. How great they are, how long they last, I don't know. I think Ross Wrighty had did a thing on his, and I think that's where he got his from. And you got to do some modifying to it to make it a little extra stronger, which, you know, sometimes that's what you got to do. Yeah. Indiana Backyard Garden say everyone is a pro on YouTube. Yeah, that's what they claim, but I say do your research. Definitely do your research. Don't research through YouTube, and don't go Google. Sometimes we got to go old school and pick up a book and read up on stuff and do a little history. And also utilize your extension office in your area. It'll tell you what kind of bugs you deal with. It'll tell you what kind of flowers to grow, when they grow. Like right now, the goldenrod is popping out, and the bees like it. And I was able to put my supers on to hopefully get some honey this year at the last minute, because they did fill up their 2 deep boxes, so they have enough honey for them. Guys, I got a video coming out real soon. I want y'all to watch it, because it's about some of the woes that I dealt in the orchard. I'm just gonna say this: my hands were twice this size earlier last week. I got stung 4 times, and they wasn't even my bees. I don't know what the proper name is for the straggler bees, but I'm just gonna say they was the hood bees, and they hit me 4 times when I was trying to go inside my apiary. And that was the first time I got stung by a bee. I got stung by a wasp before, and it hurts. It hurts real bad. So, yeah, they got me in this finger. They got me in this finger. They got me right here. And they got me over here on this hand 2 times. It was bad. Super bad. And it wasn't even from my bees. My bees are real gentle. But they were aggravated because my hive had been getting robbed by other bees. They've been going in and taking their honey. And I was sitting out in the orchard, and I noticed wasps. And I've taken down 2 wasp nests this year. And there's a third one that was a couple of houses down. I said, I'm not going to fool with that. For one, it's too high up, and I just can't take every wasp nest down in the neighborhood. But yeah, got to be careful with these wasps and with these bees. I mean, I went to the park the other day, and the bees were just, I had to roll my windows up. They just bad. Yeah, it was rough. It felt bad. That thing hurt. It hurt my feelings more than anything, because I mean, I kept shaking my hands. It's like an electric shock or something. And you know, I have somewhat of a high tolerance for pain. I ain't crying nothing, but I was that close. But I ran. I got out of that orchard. I ran to my garage. My door wouldn't go down fast enough because it's automatic. Pushed the button, and they was on me. They followed me all the way in there. So definitely gotta be careful. And this has nothing to do with owning bees. This could have happened if I didn't even have bees. It would have happened. But there was some mistakes that I made too, and I'll be talking about that in the video that I'll be putting out. But yeah, definitely gotta get that together, and kind of that's why I say with stuff like that, to me, beekeeping is just like gardening. Everybody have a different way of doing it. Um, and some people say this is the wrong way. Some people say this is the right way. And it's the same thing with gardening. Oh, no, you do this. You don't do that. You got to find your way, and you got to do your research. Yes, it was a learning experience. And the terrible thing about it, Indiana Garden, is it was all my fault because I wasn't properly prepared. With my bees, I have been using garden gloves with the rubber inside and the little cloth, and I've never had a problem. But this time, it was a big problem for me, and they just went after my hands. They just tore my hand. You know how your mama smacked your hand because you're trying to reach over and get something out the cookie jar or something? It was like they was just, they just kept zapping my hands. I think I got all those things within a minute. It had to be within less than a minute because I was getting up out of there. So yeah, that was something. You have your hives but no bees yet? Well, make sure you get one thing, experimental gardener, before you get your bees, is most important, is your gear. You don't have your gear, which is your jacket or your suit, your veil, your gloves, your smoker. That's putting the carriage before the horse. So make sure you get your gear before you order your bees, for sure. The bees was riding for me, but when I went in the box, it was a different type of noise, and I knew at that point I had messed up because it was, it was like a more of a electric surge type, and I was like, I never heard this before. And other bees started coming, they ain't riding for me because they had been agitated. I went in the box the day before, and they were already agitated. So when I went back in there to correct something that I had messed up, I wasn't prepared. I didn't have my smoker. They was on guard because the wasps had been back there. I had 2 wasps sucking the juice out of my grapevine, and the wasps had been back there like crazy. Thomas, hello. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. Food Forest Permaculture is in here. Hey, Food Forest Permaculture. You've been out there harvesting real good out in your Food Forest. But yeah, you gotta, it's a learning curve being a beekeeper. I don't even classify myself as a beekeeper. I'm a person with bees. Now, if I had the same bees, the same colony come May, March, April, then I'll classify myself as a beekeeper because I kept my bees over the winter. Everything that we do in the north is challenging. And it's no different than what you guys out there in zone 9 and 10. It's it can become very challenging. We got to overwinter everything. I have to actually overwinter my bees, get them ready for winter. I got to get them fattened up so that they'll be able to survive the winter. It's crazy. I hope all is well with you, Howie. Missy, them hood bees that come out the neighborhood. I can't even sit on my front porch and here they come. Them weren't even my bees. Talita 360 Calf, good afternoon to you. Talita got chickens, y'all. She doing real good. Got a nice little coop for them. That little mini mansion. Check her out. I'm so excited watching you guys' videos and what y'all doing. It's just like, it encourages me. Because some of the stuff that you all grow, I've never heard of. And I'm like, I want to try that. Or I want to start growing that. Or I never grew before. When do I extract the honey? Hopefully, I just put my super on. I just put my honey box on a week ago. Because when I went out to my bee, he's not my bee supplier. He supplies me with my equipment. When I went out there to get my bottom screen board to start treating them for varroa mites, he said, "How is your boxes doing?" I said, "Well, they done filled up the 2 boxes with 2 deeps with honey, because I need 2 deeps in Michigan, where people in 8 or 9 they can get away with 1, but I have to have 2 because of our winters, and that's their honey." So he said, "Well, goldenrod is here. It's blooming. We about to get all this rain, and the goldenrod gonna come out." He said, "Go on and throw on the honey super." So that's what I did. So hopefully they'll fill it up within the next week or so. I haven't checked since the little accident to see how it's going, but when the accident happened, they were up there working, so they work pretty fast. So hopefully I have a little honey this month, actually, because after this month I got to take it off. I got to take the queen excluder off and get them ready for winter. September really should be the month to really start pumping them up and getting them fat and ready to withstand the temperatures, the low temperatures and stuff. I'm not going to installate around my box, but I will be insulating the top. Just putting a little foam board up in the top part of it. Other than that, I got a pretty good wind break from everything where they're sitting at. So I'm hoping that they do good over the winter. So can you get 2 harvests of honey per year? Yeah, you can. You can get 2 harvests of honey. It depends on how good your bees and how good they're working. Now next year, if all goes well over the winter, will be a better year for me, because I don't have to go through all the building up brood. See, I started completely fresh from everything. I really wasn't expecting honey this year, because I knew I had to get 2 boxes built up, but they built those boxes up really good and filled out all the frames really good, even the end frames. I was able to throw a super on there to see if I can get a little bonus or taste this year. But next year I won't have to do all that. I could go straight into putting my super on there, and they already got brood built up. So I should be pretty good. KS, hello. Thank you for being here. How is everything with you? I hope you're doing well. Yeah, we do need honeybees. There's a great need for them, and right now, I encourage people, if you can deal with them, to get you a hive. If you got a big yard, or even if you don't have a big yard, you can make room for your bees. But they do repopulate fast, because when I started my hive, I had 10,000. Remember the video, and the guy said it's about 10,000? I think it's about 30,000 now. They packed in there, and they were bearding because it was hot and I didn't have that screen board on. Since I put the screen board on and I threw that extra honey super on top to give them something to do, they're not bearding like that. And the weather kind of got a little cooler too, so they're not bearding like that. But I'm going to tell you, I didn't bring the book in here, but I'll put it in the video that I'm going to do. If you're thinking about getting bees, you need to get this particular book, because it's a really good book. And Josh from the City Stead had recommended the book on his channel, and I got it, and it was awesome. It's an awesome book to help you along the way. But definitely take a class. Don't try to learn beekeeping from another YouTuber, because it's just like gardening. Everybody do things different, and it's an expensive investment. So you want to make sure that you're doing it right. You're doing it qualified. You qualified. So thank everybody for coming in. I'm going to have another video about the attack and the robbery in the backyard garden coming out soon. Look out for it. I appreciate you guys. If you haven't given me a thumbs up, please press that like button. That helps me out a lot. And I will see you guys in the next video. Happy gardening, everybody. Ms. Farola answering a question about moringa. I don't know much about moringa, but I'm about to get into that. Thank you, Claire.